It's an ongoing story that the U.S. have a military base in Botswana. There's political parties from outside of Botswana.
Today, here in Southern Africa, we've got an American military base in Botswana, which threatens our security.
Hakuna base ya America mo Botswana. There is no USA air base in Botswana. That is a fact.
For over a decade, a rumor has haunted Southern African politics. It's a story of secret hangars in the desert, covert CIA operations, and a lily pad that can launch a strike on any capital in the SADC region before warning sirens can go off. The rumor suggests that the United States military operates a massive secret base inside Botswana. To the opposition in South Africa, it's an imperialist dagger at their throat. To the Pentagon, it's a cooperative security location. But to the people of Botswana, it has become a political tether to an American government that has grown increasingly unpopular in the region. Is there a US base in Botswana? The short answer is no, the long answer is complicated. To understand the controversy, we have to look at the Southern Africa map. Botswana is a geopolitical anomaly. It's a stable democracy surrounded by nations with deep historical ties to liberation movements and by extension, Russia and China. For years, reports have circulated that the US Africa Command, AFRICOM, has been quietly building a footprint here. These aren't just conspiracy theories. In 2017 and again in 2020, investigative leaks from The Intercept revealed that America had 12 sites in Africa where the US Army has bases. Botswana was listed as one of those sites and the only one in SADC. What the US has built in Botswana has been variously described as a base, air base, or facility. However, there is a more precise term that the US government has used in its official documents. The African bases are divided into three classes: larger enduring outposts that consist of forward operating sites, or FOS, numerous Spartan sites that are known as contingency locations, or CLs, and sites maintained by host nations with little or no permanent US presence are referred to as Cooperative Security Locations, or CSLs. Botswana hosts one of the CSLs, which the Pentagon describes as a location that, when needed and with the permission of the partner country, can be used by American personnel to support a wide range of contingencies. The Thebephatshwa Air Base, also known as the Maparangwana Air Base, is located in Botswana's Kwening district, 24 kilometers northwest of Mlepolol. The main base has a hangar for larger aircraft and helicopter hangars located to the northeast end of the runway. In 2024, Botswana's former Minister of Defense and Security, Mr. Kagiso Musi, refuted the allegations that the Thebephatshwa Air Base is an American military base. The minister insisted that the air base was built for the Botswana Defense Force by the government of Botswana through government funds. The base was funded through Botswana's National Development Plan and was constructed by a French company from 1990 to 1996. Minister Musi said the base was built to help secure the nation of Botswana and has since been used to help other nations through operations and training of their pilots. It has also been revealed that the air base serves as an alternative airfield to Sasaret's Kama International Airport in times of emergencies. This followed heightened claims locally and internationally that the air base was built by the Americans and are based there. The US base theory hinges on a specific set of upgrades. In 2012 and 2013, the American government spent approximately 100 million pula, about $8 to $10 million at the time, to construct facilities inside the BDF base. These aren't missile silos. They are residential barracks, latrines, and administrative buildings designed to support Exercise Southern Accord, which is a biannual joint military exercise. In August 2024, the US and Botswana co-hosted Southern Accord 2024. Hundreds of US troops arrived, used the facilities, trained on medical evacuation and anti-poaching tactics, and then, this is the key part, they left. Botswana Defence Force Commander, Lieutenant General Placid Sihoko has also reiterated that the Thebephatshwa Air Base was built to safeguard the country's peace and stability. He said joint exercises between members of the BDF and foreign nationals conducted at the airbase gave the visitors an opportunity to verify that the airbase belonged to Botswana. But if the base is not harboring American troops in its barracks, why is Julius Malema, the leader of South Africa's economic freedom fighters, so worried?
My reaction is that of horror, because we don't know what we have done to deserve this, especially as we have been engaged in discussions with South Africa, and if they had any people that they suspected were here, they could have told us, and we could have found out all about it. But this has come unexpected.
You have to understand the trauma of the region. During the Cold War, the apartheid regime in South Africa used Botswana as a playground for raids against liberation fighters. Botswana has since taken measures to protect its borders and its airspace, but the fear in Pretoria and among Pan-Africanists is that it has become a client state of the West, a launchpad for US influence in a region that prefers non-alignment.
That American base in Botswana, if they were to fly a fighter jet from that base to Union Building, it will take them 2 minutes to bomb the Union Building. Why do you allow them to have a military base in Botswana? Because no one can prepare to defend himself in 2 minutes. Once America declares a war and says we are attacking South Africa, they will do it in 2 minutes and finish the Union Building. That's why that military base in Botswana, it must be closed, because it's a security threat to the whole Southern Africa, the region that belongs to African continent.
Malema's claims about the Thebephatshwa base being a threat are hyperbole, but it reflects a genuine strategic anxiety. If the US wanted to intervene in a SADC country, for example, if a coup happened in Zimbabwe or unrest in South Africa, Thebephatshwa would be the logical staging ground for the Americans. This anxiety peaked in June 2024. For the first time in history, the African Chiefs of Defense Conference was held on African soil in Gaborone. This was a massive diplomatic coup for former President Masisi. It signaled that Botswana was the Pentagon's partner of choice. But for the opposition, and for neighbors like South Africa, it looked like Botswana was rolling out the red carpet for NATO.
I'm going to ask you, General, is there a military base, U.S. military base in Botswana?
Hopefully I can put all this to rest.
Yes, sir.
No, there is not.
Okay.
You know, but we are deepening our partnership through our activities together.
Yes, sir.
Now, whether it's engagements like the Chiefs of Defense Conference here, or whether it be us working together in exercises, in exchange of information, security cooperation, some equipment, maybe C-130 type aircraft being transitioned over, but not a base.
Okay.
Not a base.
Then came the political earthquake. In late 2024, the Botswana Democratic Party, which had ruled for 58 years, lost power and Duma Boko became president. He ran on a platform of change and is a human rights lawyer with Pan-Africanist ideologies. During the campaign and immediately after, the internet was flooded with rumors that Boko would close the US base and kick out AFRICOM. But governance is different from campaigning. On March 7, 2025, President Boko met with US Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Washington. However, he didn't hand him an eviction notice. Instead, they reaffirmed the importance of the close strategic partnership. They discussed trade, the launch of Botswana satellite, and regional security. By mid-2025, the US foreign policy landscape had shifted under the second Trump administration. The new directive for AFRICOM was empowerment over dependency. Former commander of AFRICOM, General Langley, announced a shift. The US began reducing its physical footprint in favor of intelligence sharing and over-the-horizon support. This created a perfect storm for President Boko. He didn't have to kick out the Americans and cause a diplomatic crisis. The Americans were voluntarily scaling back their visibility to focus on their competition with China and Russia. In 2019, documents from the Pentagon showed that Botswana's CSL had been earmarked for closure due to lack of America's Department of Defense property or routine military presence, and the fact that Botswana does not acknowledge or desire formal Department of Defense access at the international airport. This decision was taken in 2019 and the closure plan was scheduled to be carried out over the next 7 years. The base remains, but it's quieter. The C-130 aircraft that the US donated to the BDF in 2024 is still flying. The training exercises continue. But the visible imperial and military presence that Malema warned about is nowhere to be seen. There is no secret city of soldiers, but there is a set of contingency facilities at Botswana's Thebephatshwa Air Base. It's a break glass in case of emergency option for the US military and the Botswana Defense Force. The arrangement can also be seen as a deterrent for potential aggressors in the region where Botswana has to defend itself on 4 different fronts. But for South Africa, this will always be too close for comfort. For the conspiracy theorists, the lack of activity is just proof that the operations are being kept under wraps. But for the Botswana government, both Masisi and now Boko, it's a calculated risk. In the game of geopolitics, Botswana has chosen its side, but as the US wages war in other parts of the world, the question for President Boko isn't about closing the base, it's about ensuring that the base doesn't become a target. Do you think the Cooperative Security location in Thebephatshwa is a smart insurance policy for Botswana, or do you agree with Malema that it's a violation of African sovereignty?
We are afraid, Comrade President. The military base of the United States in Botswana is a threat to the existence of South Africa because the economic freedom fighters will take over that country in no time. And by that time, they will still be in the soil of Botswana. And it will take them a second to bomb the union buildings of the EFF government. And in conclusion, Comrade President, we appeal to you and the PNF and the alliance partners to look at this issue, just like President Traore has looked at it in the Sahel region. So be it in the southern region of Africa. Kopano! Kopano!
What we also need to accept, perhaps we need to do more. We need to do more, as the honorable member said, to dispel this, you called it a myth, but I will say to dispel this untruth, because it's not true.